Hey, this is Connor with Conquest HP, and this is a post from conquesthp.com called Normal is What Got You Hurt in the First Place. Alright, here we go. So, most of us have said, I just want to be back to normal at one point or another. When you're sick, injured, that kind of thing. That's the mindset we're in right here. That's false. You don't want to be back to normal. Normal is what got you here in the first place. Your normal is obviously deficient. This is an incredibly common sentiment amongst the injured, pained, and maimed among us. I've heard this line uttered in my treatment rooms countless times. I'm guilty of using it myself many times. When you're down, you just want to get back up. Anywhere further up from where you currently are would be great. You have the flu? You just want to get to not puking your guts out again. You have a sniffle? You just want to go one damn second without sniffling again. Your back hurts when you try to smile? You just like to live like a normal person again. How great it would be to do normal things with normal sensations and not worry about pain or injury. See, that's exactly where the logic ends and the fantasy begins. That's where I have to disagree with you, and where I have to disagree with myself when I'm down. Normal isn't good enough. You were normal, then you dropped down into pain, injury, whatever. What the hell is so good about normal? There's a cluster of gray hairs in my head owing to this particular frustration in its extrapolated form. That's literal too, that's for real, that's real life. When you're in poor health, you just want to get back to normal. When you do return to normal, as you will if you see me in the clinic, you'll feel great. Going from feeling like crap to feeling normal feels phenomenal. Surprise, surprise. I don't have to tell you. You know. You know how fun it is to wake up for the first time in 2 months and not have back pain, knee pain, or whatever your particular burden to bear may be. It feels amazing. You want to do cartwheels and see the Eiffel Tower and play beer pong. You forget about all those down times. You forget what it was like to hurt. You forget how much it sucked every single second of every single day. Going back to normal feels great. Then it feels normal. Normal feels normal again. Normal allows you to coast and still make it through. You can ignore warning signs and duties and responsibilities. You can neglect yourself a bit, skip the gym, and forget about your rehab exercises. You can afford this because you feel normal. See how dangerous normal is? You'll ride this gray, boring normal wave right into your next catastrophe. Normal is not good enough. So every time I see someone leave the clinic with a smile on their face and a spring in their step, I don't let them leave without telling them to get stronger. You will not get off that easy. I have to tell you to get stronger, more mobile, more resilient. In short, you have to be better than you were. If our time in the clinic is proof of anything, it's proof that your normal isn't good enough. Normal brought you into a clinic with pain. It obviously isn't good enough. Go ahead and ask for normal if you must. Do so especially if you're down and nearly out. If you're already digging deep, push for normal. But make a promise to yourself as you do. Promise you won't let this happen again without a fight. Promise to seal up the leak which led you to this pain in the first place. Promise to get stronger than normal. If you're still not convinced, I'll tell you a secret. Normal isn't what you think it is. You think normal is a state, a thing, a definable quantity. It isn't. Normal is a shifting sea of sand. It's slowly changing, slowly running down a small gradient, with grains of sand passed around on the wind. Normal ain't normal. Normal is a dynamic, changing, shifting, living, breathing thing. Normal is entropy, the gradual decline into disorder. While you may spend weeks, months, or years feeling normal, you aren't. Things are still changing. If they aren't changing for the better, they're changing for the worse. As you feel normal, you spend a little more time on the couch than you realize. You try a little less in the gym. You make it to the gym a little less often. You gain just a little bit of weight. Your sleep gets a little worse. You're a little more stressed. See how those sands are shifting? No, you don't. But they are. They're moving and changing whether you see them or not. Then, after months of normal, you go to pull out the rake. It's springtime, baby, and you're going to rake some leaves. The only problem here is that you're not normal anymore. You're a little worse than you were last time you did this. Last time you raked, you were marginally stronger, healthier, more mobile, less stressed, and better recovered. This marginal isn't a big deal, right up until it is. Normal lets you down as you get 15 minutes into raking and your back seizes up. You reach your hand around your back blindly, looking for the knife someone must have slipped in between your ribs. Alas, no knife, but the knife pain is real. Normal isn't normal. Even if it was, it wouldn't be good. Normal has and will let you down. Normal is not a target you can hit because it's a false promise. What you should aim for is better. Not just when you're hurting and want to get better. Aim for better even when you feel good. Make your life an intricate interplay between your consciousness and your body. Take this body out for a spin. See what you can do. Test it in different ways. Find out where you're strong, where you're weak, and where you need to put in some more work. Entropy ensures that normal will not stay normal for long. Entropy ensures that at some point, your normal will degrade into enough disorder to cause pain. If only there were another way. You can get stronger, you can get more mobile, you can get better sleep, eat better, adopt better habits, a better schedule. You can socialize more and use screens less. You can do any of 100 things, which you know off the top of your head will be better for you. What if you did 2 of those things today? Or 3? Or 5 this week? Would you still be normal tomorrow? Would you still be normal next week? Would you be normal, or would you be something else entirely? That rake doesn't have to be your arch nemesis. You're smart. If you've read this far into an article in 2019, I can safely say you're in the top 1% of intellectuals worldwide. Congratulations. Now figure it out. Actually, I'm recording this, so you haven't read this, so forgive me, but you might not be in that top percent, might be like top 3% or something like that instead. You can figure out what you need to do to be ready for the rake, the shovel, the spring clean. You can even get a little crazy and think of what you might do to be ready for something you can't see coming. That moment, you'll have to lift something or someone heavy. That moment, you'll need to be more than normal. Don't wait for that moment. There's nothing good about being normal. Even if you could hold normal without any effort, it wouldn't be a beneficial or honorable thing to do. Grow or shrink. Stronger or weaker. More or less. Choose more than normal, or subject yourself to the ever more frequent pitfalls of normality. You're better than that. I know you are. You read, you listened this far. You're practically a member of Mensa. Figure it out. Find something to do today that'll elevate your status above your norm. Do the same tomorrow, then the next day. I'll miss you in the clinic, but I'll be happy for you. So that's the entirety of the post for today, guys. Obviously, this post is a little bit more about people recovering from injuries, back pain, surgery, back illness, that kind of stuff. But basic idea here, basic premise is something that everyone can take away, even if you aren't dealing with those things right now. Because as you might have picked up throughout this reading, you feel good when you're normal. Normal feels normal. Normal feels adequate, and it's adequate right up until that moment where it isn't adequate. So, if you are recovering from something, that basic one foot in front of the other, how can I raise my level? I think kids would say level up. How can I level up from one day to the next? How can I go from being what I am right now to being slightly stronger tomorrow, slightly more mobile, whatever it might be? That mentality is huge. And it's huge not to forget that mentality when you are feeling better. So when you are feeling better, maintaining that current strength, that current fitness that you have is easier than it was to build it in the first place. It doesn't take quite as much effort to maintain it. So you can take some of that extra time you have from you're doing your normal maintenance work, let's call it that, and you can devote some work to those things that you won't see coming. Like getting good at a movement pattern you're currently really bad at. Like if you particularly enjoy squats rather than deadlifts or hinges or kettlebell swings or whatever it might be, and you always avoid those other things, maybe it's time to address that. Maybe it's time not to hide from those weaknesses. Because eventually, just the law of probability suggests that we're going to have to encounter those weaknesses at some point. And if you leave them weak and entropy has its way, weaknesses are going to keep getting weaker. So it kind of pays to anticipate a little bit and cover as many bases as you can. And that especially pays for these silly things like getting hurt, shoveling your driveway, or raking your yard, or something like that, which as a clinician I can tell you is incredibly common. And like it's seasonal. It's clockwork. You can bet the farm on it. It happens every single year, and it's the same exact problem every year. You haven't done this kind of slightly bent rotational activity for 8 months, and then you pick up your shovel again, and you just you want to go right back to as fast as you were last year. Why would anything work like that? Why would squats wouldn't work like that? You take 8 months off from squats, and then you just try to load up the same weight you're using 8 months ago and go, oh, I hope that'll go well. Come on. It doesn't work like that with anything else. Why would it work like that with basic human movements throughout the day? So if you aren't feeling good, figure out what you can do to kind of move forward step by step from where you are. Look for opportunities in multiple different directions. Consider nutrition, recovery, sleep, meditation. Those things are huge. Can't emphasize how big those things are for recovery. And if you are feeling good, then find some weaknesses. Find some leaks that you can shore up before they become a problem. So you can check out this post at conquesthp.com. I'll link it below, and I will talk to you guys again soon.